Hello, YouTube. I thank Pappy Ferreira and Tomas Kalheim for that. Losing the fear of lighting. We have to smoke it to keep it going. Housekeeping. I believe this is a poker. Hold on. One of the first pipes I ever bought. And I went with a standby Norman Rockwell portrait. You know, it's my go-to nutty tasting pipe tobacco. Never seems to let me down when I try and light it. There's always a first time. Hold on. There we go. Anyway, hello to all of you, YouTube pipe community. I'm calling this particular video Conversations with Dead People. Not to freak you out, not to be spooky, but it's kind of what it's all about. So I stole the title of one of my favorite Buffy the Vampire Slayer episodes. I don't know why it's my favorite, I just seem to like it. It's a nice change for all the karate chopping vampires and everything like that. And I love the show, but just like that episode, Conversations with Dead People. I had two of them this week. Last week I went on a trip, and while I was trying to recover from all the arthritic pain of that first flight down to Dallas, I was tossing and turning, going to sleep, and I had a dream about my dad. No, I don't say this in any unkind way. My dad was your archetypical redneck, and I could picture him in his knockoff Timberland boots, his plaid shirt, his red vest, like Marty McFly's, only a knockoff version of it, and this god-awful fishing hat that that Quint on Jaws used to wear, sort of something one of those. Anyway, he was big as life in the stream. First time ever. My dad passed in, like, I want to say 15 years ago. I won't get into the whole circumstances of that. Suffice it to say, he really did take great care of himself. He lived hard, and he played hard. But anyway, after the funeral, I never dreamt about my father very much. Just, you know, just didn't dream of him. And eventually I started sensing him outside camera range. Just outside. I could feel him just outside of the range of the camera frame. And eventually I started getting a glimpse of him. Felt like he was checking in on me. Don't know, but it was always good. It was always glad to see him. But this one, he was larger than life, the star of it. He was unambiguous, and weirdly enough, you know how dreams go. I don't really remember talking to him about anything. I just, other than unless it was like communication through feelings or something, but I was just very glad to see him, having a full-on visit with me. I used to drive up to Canada, Marston, Quebec. he lived about an hour over the border. He retired up there. Came from there originally. So, I'd go up to visit him. We'd have 2 or 3 beers together, then I'd crash and take a nap, because since I left the house at 5 a.m. that morning, it's a 5-hour drive from Manchester, New Hampshire, up to Marston, Quebec. It's right next to Lac Mégantic. Huge fire there about, I want to say about 10 years ago. Anyway, yeah, my dad's cameo appearances have become starring roles, and I have to say, I woke up, I was happy to have talked with him. Now, was it really my dad? Does it really matter? I'm not a card-carrying Christian. But our universe is based in quantum physics, so who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'd like to think it was him. My gut says it was him. Don't know exactly how, if there is life after death, if your soul doesn't just get destroyed, it only gets changed. I don't know how the concept of time works for them. But maybe it works very differently. I don't know. But at any rate, I was just happy to see him, and I hope he's not a stranger. Second past person I spoke to was the doc, Dr. L, we'll call him. Back when I used to work Glasgow flights, met Dr. L. He was flying with his family, visiting relatives in New Hampshire, I believe. We just got to talking. Found out he was a doctor at Glasgow University. So after that, we struck up a friendship, and I would go visit him on not every layover that I had there, but quite frequently. It's kind of cool, because he's an academic, and the college is kind of old and dusty in a good way. The halls of learning, and I really absorbed that atmosphere pretty well. And so we'd have talks about everything that under the sun. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, I tried to get back. We drifted apart as friendships usually do, and I started sending Christmas cards again out. I send a lot of Christmas cards out every year. Starting to get a little ashy there. Anyway, started sending Christmas. I was trying to. While we were drifting apart, I ran into him in the customs hall once. I was coming back from an Amsterdam trip. I want to say this is about 12 years ago. And oh, it's the doc. Hey, doc, what's up? And you know how it is with friendships. You just kind of drift away. It's like, hey, are you at the same address? Cool. I didn't want to talk because I had a bus to catch. I wanted to go home. When you're off of a trip, you want to go home. But I shook his hand. It was good to see him. I saw his family over there getting their luggage. So okay, I'll send you a letter. So occasionally I would send him emails. The occasional letter. Then I drifted away again. Then I drifted back in. Didn't hear anything. Didn't think much of it. Because, no offense, when you're a letter writer, except for 2 or 3 really faithful companions, correspondents, you really don't hear much from people, or you hear from them regularly. So 2 Christmases ago, I get a card from his wife, and she tells me that the doc passed away about 5 years previous. I don't know, that kind of hit me kind of hard, because, I was fond of the guy, fond of the old Englishman. And then all of a sudden suddenly he's gone. Like someone just took a piece of your history away. So yeah, that kind of hit kind of hard, I'm sorry to say. So yeah, every now and again I think of the doc, and the second night in a row, I dreamt of him. And Doc shows up at the bar. I don't remember him being a drinking person, though. But we shared a drink at the bar. And again, I don't remember what we talked about, but we just shot the breeze. He seemed a little reticent, as if he was unused to seeing me, used to hanging out with me. But I felt it was an honor, because, the Doc was a family man. He had other priorities going on. So it was nice that he took the time just to drop by and visit me here in the dream plane. But yeah, I woke up feeling very, very good. Like, as if friendships don't have to end because death is involved. You can occasionally, cleaning my pipe, you can occasionally have a conversation or a meeting of the minds or an empathetic overlap or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I hope they come back again. I would like very much to talk with them, but I really want to hear from my friend Danny. My friend Danny is a good friend of mine. You know, he used to do Glasgow trips with me too. He used to play a lot of golf. I used to be his caddy. And I've been with him on many Scottish golf courses. And just, I don't play golf, but just for the company. He was one of my best friends. He was a little off, but then again, so am I. And he passed from cancer, I want to say, about 7 years ago. And I would like to see him again. So hopefully he gets this message somehow, and hope we can just sit down. He was getting into whiskey, Scottish whiskeys, and he was back before he passed. He went from being a non-drinking teetotaler to becoming a semi-expert on whiskeys. I think I told him about Ralphie's channel, Ralphie Mitchell, Ralphie Stuff. If you want to expand your whiskey knowledge, just please turn into Ralphie Stuff. He'll teach you everything you need to know about whiskey. Okay, what else is going on? I got my second booster yesterday. My husband doesn't waste time, so we just went right on over there. 10 minutes later, we were boosted. So that's cool. We'll just wait for the next one. As of April 18th, it looks like my airline's going to probably pull the mask mandate from the plane, so I don't know how I feel about that. But at least this way I won't have to keep telling people, I'm sorry, what did you say? For their drinks, and they won't have to say it to me, because I'm sure they have problems hearing me too. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I want to say happy birthday to Curmudgeon Piper. It's his birthday today. Thank you, Onion. Onion, I think I sent you a letter recently using the ever awesome fountain pen, which I've slowly taken a liking to. Love. If you ever have a chance, get into fountain pens. They're not that expensive if you don't want them to be. And once you learn how to fill your little valve with the ink, get used to how it writes. It's really excellent. I also thank Charlie Lamedeer for getting me into fountain pens as well. 3 big people with the fountain pens: Hiking Piper, Charlie Lamedeer, and Johnny Onion Mannion. 3 big fountain pen users of the YTPC, or pipe smokers and fountain pen users. They seem to go together somehow. That and wet shaving. Okay, up to 13 minutes. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you're all doing well. All the best to you, and take care. Roll on spring.